Why is self-respect attractive? Because it changes everything before you even say a word. It changes how you walk into a room, how you carry a conversation, how you handle disappointment, how you respond to attention, and how you decide what you will and will not tolerate. Self-respect is not loud. It does not beg for validation. It does not chase. It does not perform. It simply knows its value, and that kind of energy is magnetic. A lot of people think attractiveness starts with appearance. They think it is about having the perfect look, the perfect body, the perfect outfit, the perfect image. And yes, presentation matters. Taking care of yourself matters. But what truly pulls people in is the way you see yourself. Because people can feel the difference between someone who is polished on the outside and someone who is grounded on the inside. One is appealing for a moment. The other leaves an impression that lingers. Self-respect is attractive because it signals emotional stability. When you respect yourself, you do not crumble every time someone fails to text back quickly. You do not lose your identity trying to be chosen. You do not shapeshift into whatever gets the most approval. You are not constantly asking, what do I need to do to make them like me? You are asking, does this align with who I am? Does this feel right for me? Is this person meeting me at the level I deserve? That shift alone changes your entire presence. There is something deeply attractive about a person who is not desperate to be liked. Not because they are cold, not because they are arrogant, but because they are whole. They are not entering every interaction starving for attention. They are not clinging to breadcrumbs and calling it chemistry. They are not confusing inconsistency for excitement. They know that being wanted is not the same as being valued, and being desired is not the same as being respected. That understanding protects them, and protection of the self is beautiful. Self-respect also creates standards. And standards are attractive because they communicate that access to you means something. If anyone can have your time, your body, your energy, your loyalty, your forgiveness, your softness, then none of it feels special. But when you have discernment, when you are intentional, when you understand that not everyone deserves the deepest parts of you, people notice. The right people respect it. The wrong people are intimidated by it. And that is not a problem. That is a filter. So many people are taught to be endlessly accommodating, to be easygoing at the expense of their truth, to ignore red flags so they do not seem difficult, to overextend, overgive, overexplain, overcompensate. But self-respect says no. It says I can be kind without abandoning myself. I can be loving without losing my standards. I can be open without being naive. I can be warm without being weak. I can be understanding without accepting behavior that dishonors me. That is where the real attraction begins. Not in trying to impress, but in refusing to betray yourself just to keep someone interested, because nothing dims a person faster than self-abandonment. The moment you start ignoring your intuition, silencing your needs, excusing the inexcusable, or pretending you are okay with less than what your spirit knows you need, you start disconnecting from your own power. And people can feel that. They may not be able to name it, but they can feel the uncertainty, the neediness, the fear of loss. On the other hand, when you are rooted in self-respect, there is a steadiness about you. Even your silence says, I know who I am. And let's be honest, confidence without self-respect is fragile. It can look glamorous on the surface, but it often falls apart the second rejection appears. Self-respect is deeper. It is confidence with substance. It is not built on compliments. It is not built on how many people want you. It is built on the decisions you make when nobody is clapping for you. It is built on what you walk away from. It is built on how you talk to yourself in private. It is built on whether you honor your own boundaries when it would be easier not to. That is why self-respect is attractive, because it is earned. It is not decoration. It is character. A person with self-respect does not need to threaten, manipulate, or force control. They know that what is meant for them will not require them to shrink. They know that love without respect is chaos. They know that attention without effort is cheap. They know that mixed signals are a signal. And because they know these things, they move differently. They are not in a rush to attach. They are not hypnotized by charm. They are not impressed by words that are not backed by consistency. There is also a quiet elegance to self-respect. It shows up in the way you leave situations that drain you, in the way you do not argue with people committed to misunderstanding you, in the way you stop auditioning for roles that require you to betray your values, in the way you choose peace over proving a point, in the way you no longer romanticize potential while ignoring reality. It is refined. It is composed. It is powerful because it does not need to announce itself. And perhaps most importantly, self-respect is attractive because it inspires trust. When someone sees that you respect yourself, they believe that your yes means something and your no means something. They believe you are not easily swayed by loneliness, flattery, or pressure. They believe there is integrity in the way you move. That matters. Attraction is not just visual, it is energetic, it is psychological, it is spiritual. We are drawn to people who seem safe in themselves, people who are not constantly at war with their own worth. If you want to become more attractive, do not just focus on being chosen. Focus on becoming someone who chooses wisely. Focus on your boundaries. Focus on your habits. Focus on your discipline. Focus on your healing. Focus on your self-talk. Focus on whether your actions reflect the value you claim to have. Because self-respect is not just a mindset. It is behavior. It is how you answer the phone. It is who gets your time. It is what you entertain. It is what you normalize. It is what you no longer negotiate. The truth is, people are always watching what you tolerate. They are learning how to treat you by what you continue to accept. Every time you excuse disrespect, you teach them your standards are flexible. Every time you stay where you are diminished, you communicate that your presence can be taken for granted. But every time you honor yourself, even when it is inconvenient, even when it is lonely, even when it means starting over, you become more powerful, more radiant, more attractive in the truest sense. Because there is nothing more compelling than a person who has decided that their dignity is not up for discussion, their worth is not waiting for permission, and their presence will never be offered at the price of their self-respect.